Okay, so good afternoon once again. So we are now on the third group, which will discuss about interactive learning through images, videos, and narration in teaching science in the virtual mode instruction. So the topic is divided into 5 subtopics, which will also be reported by my co-reporters. Okay, namely Ayuban, Bayadog, Ramirez, Pitor, and yours truly. So,
May I ask if,
yes, ma'am.
okay, sorry for that interruption. May I ask if Miss Vitor is here?
I think po ma'am wala si Miss Pitor kasi Saturday po ngayon. But meron po siyang video na prepare po. Ma'am. Ma'am Luz. Okay, so as a continuation, wala si ma'am. So, let's have the interactive learning as my part. So I will be sharing with you about how interactive learning is done, so what are the advantages, and so on and so forth. So, ga-move ba akong slide?
Yes, ma'am.
How about that? Okay. So before that, let's have first a game. So the title of the game is about picture puzzle game. So this is a easy game. Dali lang, no? So I hope everyone will participate. So in this round, there are 5 picture puzzle and you need to guess the word behind the picture shown for 15 seconds. Again, 15 seconds lang siya. So just type your answers in the chat box. Am I understood? So can I have a yes? Okay, thank you, Sir Loomer. Okay, so in 15 seconds, guess the word number 1. Ayan. Just type your answers in the chat box. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much, classmates, for your answer. I think all of you got the correct answer. It is teacher. Okay, so we have the T plus the Sir Junail. Okay, so we have the chair minus the word air plus the ear minus the A. So it's teacher. Okay, second word. For 15 seconds, guess the word. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wala? Okay, so the sign here, no, if you are familiar with the zodiac sign, from Ma'am Grace. There you go round. Sige pa daw. Any more answers? Okay, so here, this is the sign for Virgo. Sino mga Virgo dito? Ah, yeah, you're correct, Sir Loomer. Congratulations. So, the word is virtual. So, we have this Virgo symbol minus the word go, and then the ladies are having a ritual minus the word re. So, virtual. Okay, next word. Guess the word number 3. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. Mom Apple, Sir Christian, Mom Mylene, so that's correct. The word is signs. Next word. Okay, guess the word. For 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. The correct answer is videos. Yeah, you're right po, Ma'am Darcy, Ma'am Angel, and Ma'am Grace. And Ma'am Christian Joy, Ma'am Vega. Yeah, so it's correct. So if you are familiar with this application, no, itong mga K-drama addicts, so this is view minus the word you. So we have V, D-O plus S. Okay, last word. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, thank you so much. The correct answer is, yeah, it's instruction. So the words that I have shown to you are related to our topic, interactive learning. So thank you so much, classmates, for participating. Let's proceed. Okay, so what is interactive learning? So interactive learning is a teaching model that encourages students to be part of the lesson rather than passive observers. So it is very self-explanatory, no? So it's about engaging the learners actively, not passive. And then we have, studies have shown that students learn better if they are allowed to adopt information on their own terms. So if you allow the students, not just only nga si teacher lang tanan, so they said that they learn better. And then the internet enables students to explore and create knowledge and information. So as we are in the digital era nowadays, so it is really helpful nga naay internet, no? But of course, we have to consider that some of our students dili gid sila ka-access na yung mga schools, especially amo ang school, like namin sa remote, na jud mi sa talipukpok, so we can't apply this one. So we use an extension of internet-based learning. So this hybrid approach combines web-based instruction with classroom examples and lab assignments. So as you can see in the picture below, so naay content, and then there is an interaction and then communication. So it's a cycle. So ingana ang interactive learning. Next, so how would you describe an interactive instructional material? So of course, if you want your instruction to be interactive, you have to use interactive materials, and then as a teacher, you have to imply interactive teaching. So according to Di Masuay and Aguna, interactive learning materials, or ILMs, are learning modules or tools that are being developed to stimulate and engage the students' learning. So this is different from SLMs, no? Kaya those are self-learning modules man. Here is a tool or a learning tool that will be used by the teacher to make the class interactive. So thus, in the virtual mode of instruction, so the role of the teacher is to provide necessary tools to make learning meaningful. Then we have creative and interactive. So according to Daz and Yeager, 2009, science teachers are expected to create an environment conducive to students' active learning. So not just science teachers, no, but I think all of the teachers, no. We are all expected to create a friendly environment, an atmosphere where the student can really learn at their best. So, nadira ang isa ka bata no, na enjoy niya ang experimentation. So, usually in science, we have this mga lab assignments, lab reports. Okay, next. So, to become creative and interactive, since we are now in the digital era, we have various technologies available. All these new technology have one thing in common. So they both support synchronous and asynchronous session or instruction. So ano pala yung synchronous? So synchronous is done in real time. So with students and instructors attending together. So a good example is what we have right now. So the Google Meet, o pwede po Zoom, and the Microsoft Teams. So muna siyang synchronous. While if si asynchronous naman, it is a more relaxed schedule. So with students accessing the class material during different hours and different locations. So just like Google Classroom. So we have that, no? Google Classroom, Edmodo, and others. So mayroong mga na-mention kanina si Sir Ayaton sa kanyang report. So meron dong combination of synchronous and asynchronous. You can possibly combine the two. Okay, next. So what are the advantages in using interactive learning inside our classroom or virtual classroom? So first, it can promote immediate feedback to the learner. So mas napapadali ang feedbacking. So compare with the modular sa monthly amo ang pag-release sa among module. So monthly pud among feedback. So nga na siya ka dugay. And then second, it can increase the learner's interest to listen and participate in class. So both in synchronous and asynchronous. And then third, it can include easier recognition and mastery of a specific topic. And then lastly, it can easily be accessed in any device. So you can use cell phone, laptop, but for those lang po mga students nga na ay mga devices. And it is convenient for the learners. Thus, effective online teaching activities should be designed, facilitated, and directed for cognitive and social processes. So, inga na ang advantages sa interactive learning in the virtual mode instruction. Okay, so familiar? Now let me show you an example of the tools used by the teacher, and I think some of you are using this in your virtual class. So we have brainstorming, finding information, organizing information, presenting information, seeking feedback, reflecting. So all these tools you can use this if in the virtual mode instruction. So actually some are familiar, but others are also new to me. So don't worry, because this will be also thoroughly discussed by my other group mates as a part of our topic. So we have the YouTube, yes, because videos pwede nimo ma-access using YouTube. And then if you have also mga written activities like lab assignments, so you can have Google Sheets, Google Forms, it's like that. Okay, next. Interactive teaching and interactive learning. Of course, if you have interactive teaching, you can have an interactive learning. So, you have to consider nga ang teacher dapat, ang iyang ginabuhat nga instruction is interactive para naman mag-result ng interactive learning. So, this is an example of an interactive board in science. So, usually, experiments gid siya. Experiments. And then, let's have this. So, learning styles. As part of the teacher, you have to learn what is the learning style of your students. So, there are different learning styles, no? Like, just like this, we have verbal. So, verbal, words are your strong point. You prefer to use words both in speech and in writing. So, dapat kabalo ka if your students, some of your students are, ano man po, verbal. 'Di ba? Mas naiintindihan nila ang lesson if it is discussed. And then visual, you prefer to use pictures, diagrams, images, and spatial understanding to help you learn. So later, ma-introduce ni sa inyo ha ang mga images for visual learners. And then we have musical auditory. So you prefer using sounds or music or even rhythms to help you learn. Pero if ako, I don't prefer using music while I'm studying kay ma-disturb ko. So sa ako lang po to siya. I don't know sa uban. And then let's have physical or kinesthetic. So you use your hands, body, and senses to help you learn. So you might act things out. So naiingana pud nga learner. And then mathematical or logical. So learning is easier for you if you use logic, reasoning, systems, and sequences. And then social. You like to learn new things as part of a group. Explaining your understanding to a group helps you learn. So kanang mag-peer tutoring mo or mag-group discussion mo. So social. And then solitary is the opposite of social. No? You like to work alone. You use self-study and prefer your own company when learning. So naiuban nga, dili sila mo prefer anang group study kay mahimo ra gyud na siya group chika. So solitary, so mas ganahan sila nga sila lang magtuon on their own. And then combination. So your learning style is a combination of two or more of these styles. So you can actually combine. Mas nice kung combine mo siya. Okay, next. So according to William Glasser, I know na this is familiar. So we learn 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, 50% of what we see and hear, 70% of what we discuss, and then 80% of what we experience, and 95% of what we teach others. So, ingon nila nga, mas okay if you teach others, no? So, as a teacher, we are very natay privileged that we can share, no, at the same time we learn. So, ingana siya. So, mas dako ang percentage. So, this is an increasing percentage of how we learn. Okay, so next. Okay, so the cone of learning. So, this is by Edgar Dale, 1969. So, this is also familiar, right? So, first, we have reading. So, after 2 weeks daw, we tend to remember 10% of what we read. So, kung maghatag lang ka og soft copy sa ilahang modules, so 10% of what they read, I don't know if naka-comprehend ba si student. So 10% lang daw ang ihang ma-remember, and then hearing words, so you can also have those auditory nga mga materials. So 20% of what we hear. And then seeing, 30% of what we see, and then 50% of what we see and hear. So kani siya watching a movie, looking at an exhibit, or watching a demonstration, seeing it done on location. So, these 4 are part of passive. So, passive lang daw ni siya sa cone of learning. So, kung gusto ka nga, imuhang learner is dito sa active. So, diri ka sa participating in a discussion, giving a talks, because 70% of what we say is ma-remember daw nila. And then, 90% of what we say and do, like example, doing a dramatic presentation or kanang mga simulation or doing the real thing. So, kana siya is part of active learning. Napa mo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so continue. So, according to Confucius, I see and I forget. I hear and I remember. And if I do, I understand. So, ingana lang siya ka-simple, no? If you really integrate active learning in your classroom, syempre, mas masabtan gud sa imuhang students. Okay, next. So, how interactive learning is done? Okay. So, first, it involves facilitator and learners. Okay, so make the students actively involved. So as teacher, ang imuharang rule sa interactive learning is to facilitate. So you have to share, you're just going to facilitate, and then si learners na ang mag-share sa ihang ideas and knowledge para mas maka-learn siya. And then second is encourage and expect learners to participate. So keep them attentive and involved. And then third, use questions to simulate discussion, emphasizing the values of answers. So of course, as teachers, you don't have to be an expert no in answering all the questions. Kay you should allow your students to answer. Kay some of the students kay mas basin mas napakay wala na hibalaan, and then okay, ma-learning mo from them. And then fourth, give participants hands-on experience. So hands-on, minds-on learning dapat. And then fifth, lastly, use teaching aids to gain and retain attention. So use technology. So you can have the yung gamification, so you can have that in your lesson. So use interactive instructional materials. So marami naman. So just like what Sir Ayaton share kanina, yung mga online and then the offline. Then next. Okay, so what should be my teaching philosophy? So if we have interactive learning, ano ba yung teaching philosophy natin? So according to Lao Tzu, if you tell me, I will listen. If you show me, I will see. And if you let me experience, I will learn. So this is somehow connected, no? That experience is our best teacher. Mo agree ba mo, Ana? So I think mo agree mo, Ana, no? Okay, next. Okay, so this part here, it's about the images shows 4 perspectives on learning based upon theoretical principles. So we have behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, and connectivism. So these are instructional methods associated with each other. And kaning orange quadrants, kanang nasa lower part, represents the student-focused learning approach or yung student-centered approach, while the blue one na nasa upper part, the behaviorism and cognitism, so it's the instructor focus. So basically, if it's interactive and you have to you need your students to be actively involved in the lesson, so mag-choose lang kaaning constructivism and connectivism. So napoy methods nga giingon din ha ano. So for behaviorism, learner is passive. And examples of the methods are lecture, yung chalk and talk, drill and practice, rote learning, then multiple choice test. And then for cognitism, learning goes beyond external. So it's the same lecture, so it's more on the teacher. And then for constructivism, the methods are discovery, collaborative group work, scaffolding, self-guided learning based on personal experience, and peer grading or kanang peer tutoring. And then connectivism naman, learner is self-directed via nodes. So an example of the method is kanang mga sharing of content sources, spontaneous learning, creates knowledge collaboratively. So here, in the 4, sa ilahang upat gyud, ang best philosophy is ang philosophy ni Jean Piaget. So are you familiar with Jean Piaget? So I thought at first before when I was at college, abi na ko girl ni siya, no. Pero because of the spelling of the name. But lalaki pala si Jean Piaget. So he is a Swiss psychologist known for his work on child development. And according to him, children learn through experience. They adapt to situations based on what they have previously learned from other situations. Okay, so si Jean Piaget ang proponent ng constructivism. So ano ba yung constructivism? So it refers to the idea that learners construct knowledge or for themselves. Each learner individually and socially constructs meaning as he or she learns. And then, learning theory that equates learning with creating meaning from experience. So, from experience. So basically, if it's from experience, so there is an active learning, or it's a learning by doing. So it's somehow connected to the quotation from Lev Vygotsky, no, that learners develop strong thinking skill through interaction. There is an interaction with culture and surrounding. Okay, next. Okay, so here we have the constructivist theory or constructivism. So inspiration, kidspiration, and webspiration classroom can all be used to help students to first expand opportunities to learn new things. So, di ba, mas maka-explore ang mga students. And then second, enhance creative and intellectual development with flexibility. Third, engage in personally meaningful projects. So, obviously, mas nindot ang ilahang mga outcomes, no? But, for those, ano lang yun, in the virtual mode. And then fourth, participate in collaboration, communication, and publishing. And then last, empower students to succeed in the 21st century. So since we are now in the digital era and our students belongs to the 21st century learners. So basically, constructivist theory can really help them. Then, why constructivism is the best framework though for interactive learning? So first, constructivism enhances knowledge. And then second, it is practical. So it is actual doing, diba? Not theory, but you have to integrate learning by doing. And then it is holistic. So it's a complete system. And then also constructivism is inclusive. So it does not leave any part out. So lahat nandyan na. And then constructivism is also effective. Okay, so next. Okay, so before I will end my discussion, so let me leave you these quotes. I don't know, from Anonymous. So, siya, technology won't replace teachers. Kaya di ba, we were asking if mapulihan ba yun ni technology si teacher. No, dili daw. But teachers who use technology will probably replace teachers who do not. So, syempre, even with modular, so still si teacher gayus manggihapon. Kay as I observe, no, naman jud may mga kauban nga mga teachers, especially katong mga old na nga dili na gid sila mo kuan kamo na ana kay kamo may mga batan-on. So dili dapat kay naman po yung mga nga naman lagi among uban nga mga teachers nga although mga master teachers na sila, but still they ask help unsaon day mag PowerPoint, so just like that. So dapat si teacher gyud flexible. Okay, so thank you for listening. So do you have any question? And then, by the way, this is my references.
Miss R.
That's all.